What are some red flags in a job interview? They get defensive when you ask about overtime, vacation, or benefits. Years ago, I applied for a job at Taco Bell. The manager set up a day and time for me, and we sat down in the dining room and he talked about his life for well over an hour. His ex-wives, his old band, the thrills of hitchhiking. Then he shook my hand and said, whenever we get an opening, I'll keep you in mind. I got suckered into listening to a life story for no job. So I had interviewed for a position for a call center and got the job. What I didn't realize was if you showed up to the interview and spoke in at least partial sentences, you were going to get hired. So young, so naive. Anyway, a family emergency made me miss the first day, so I called to see if they could reschedule. I must have sounded nervous because the receptionist, in his bored voice, just said they'll hire you for something. Coming in a week. So not exactly the interview part, but part of the hiring process. If they are snatching up bodies, it means they are going through them, and quickly. When you ask what do you like about working at company? And they avoid the question, or give answers like, well, this is really great city to live in. If they can't tell you what they like about the work culture or what they like about the job, then chances are it's not a great place to work. What's my starting salary / pay? You make as much as you want. Nope, out of there. The interviewer is very late. I'm INH at a nursing home. My director of nursing sometimes leaves people waiting for 30 to 45 minutes. Then can't understand why they don't accept the offer. She feels like ours is not qualified to interview nurses, although my director has been doing this for 30 years. So we are forced to make people wait. If they don't allow vacation time, or it's not encouraged. If the interviewer talks about turnover rates. When the interviewer isn't there, and the people who know nothing about the fact you're scheduled for one. Once I had an interview where they asked me why there was a gap year since my last job, and I told them I had a child and wanted to take some time with him before getting back to work. The interviewer kept saying, but I don't understand this year off, and you can't explain it. I will wait till you can justify that year off. I tried to explain again, and when she said that again, and said I should not lie, I said, okay, I think we are done. I have no desire to work with you, and left while she was getting started on a lecture about how I shouldn't lie, because interviewers can see right through me. I still don't understand why she thought it was a lie. I mean, I had the year-old kid to prove it. When they ask you if you have any questions for them, and you ask what is your favorite thing about your job / working for this company? And they reply, well, I'm not the one being interviewed. Proceeds to answer and then says, was that good enough for you? Immediately made me realize that, even if I did get a job offer, I did not want to work for someone like that. Unlimited earning potential. Often if they promise quick promotions, you'll be a senior manager in 6 months, you should leave. The reason for the quick promotions is that the job sucks and has a high turnover. Edit. I get it. This doesn't hold true 100% of the time, but just like the white windowless vans offering free candy, the ones you can trust are the exception. When they make you wait for an hour after the scheduled interview time, before they talk with you, when they make you wait in the employees' break room, where paint is peeling off the walls, the table and chairs are beat to crap, and there's a hole in one wall, when they tell you you seem to be a good candidate to be hired, but oh wait, you need to take a computer personality test now, sorry, you did great up until you failed the test. Hope you enjoyed that waste of 2+ hours fkin Kmart. When the boss gets bent out of shape because you ask about unpaid vacation time before you're hired. Before I was hired, I let the boss know that I would need time off for my honeymoon in 6 months, and that if it was a problem, then I understood why I would not be hired. However, I was hired. I went above and beyond my job description daily, consequently saving this guy and his business a lot of money, including a $30,000 machine that the business needs to do what it does. I did plumbing. I fixed pneumatic equipment. I picked up dead mice and literal shit. Even went as far as building him a client list with over 750 potential clients. That didn't seem to matter. A week before my honeymoon the machine went tits up, and the boss had to spend $1,200 on new parts. No worries, I think I can handle it is what I say. It would have cost him double the cost of the parts to have someone come service the machine, because there are no techs in America. So I fix the machine a few days before I get married and leave for my honeymoon, and even am able to repair one of the pieces and instantly save him $900. Then this ducking guy sends my last check and a letter stating my services are no longer needed in the mail halfway through my honeymoon, and then wouldn't return my calls. Worthless piece of shit. In short, if a potential employer is butthurt about you taking unpaid time off for an important engagement like your own wedding and honeymoon during the slow season, no less, turn and walk away from that dumpster fire before the people there turn you into the same kind of human trash heap that they are. We work hard and play hard. Translation: we will work 12 to 14-hour days and everyone is an alcoholic. Apostrophe. You have a long distance video interview, and 3/4 of the way through it, the company rep mentions there are 6 other people in the room listening in, but you can't see or hear them. Yeah. No. When they hire everyone in the group interview, even the idiots, signifies a high turnover of employees, and if you're a casual, they'll get rid of you once the busy season is over. Edit. I understand the inbox thing now. Ripperino. In sales interviews, when the interviewer asks you to sell something on the desk, a cup or something, it's lazy interviewing. I'm actually looking out for a job, and the other day the hours asked why I wanted to leave my current job. I said I was done with 12-hour shifts and being forced to work an extra day on a weekend on a small incentive. He said, "That's how outsourcing works, my friend." He politely refused. They started asking me if I was married, if my significant other worked full-time, and if we were ever planning to have kids. Edit. I'm a gal. I was probably 25 or 26 at the time. Just had this one today. After your 30-day probation period you will get your first paycheck. My ass. I would say a place that promotes themselves as a family, they'll end up attempting to use it against you in the future, and let's be honest, it is business not personal. So true. Got a job as a hotel receptionist where everyone was family. They routinely made me and the other receptionists work maid service in our nice clothes and uncomfortable shoes because everyone helped each other out while also still covering reception. Like they would make us run up and down the floors cleaning rooms and greeting guests. An actual nightmare. That interview ended with a variation of "we're family. We take care of each other." Edit. Wow. Didn't expect all of these replies. It's been fun reading all of your stories and becoming enraged. Lol. I'll add some more to the enragement. This was my first job out of high school and they really did treat the staff like crap. I was told I had to sneak bites of my lunch whenever I had the chance throughout the day. We also didn't have 15-minute breaks. I was young and foolish and didn't report them, not even after they withheld my check for 5 weeks. If it sounds like the interviewer knows little about the specifics of the skills you are bringing, expect them to never actually understand it. This is probably going to be typical of the company and you will never be respected. I was a photographer for a used car company. I frequently had to explain that I couldn't photograph faster without losing quality, got very little assistance, and had to wander the lots trying to find cars by myself, wasting more the time they were complaining about. Got the nickname of Kubrick, and eventually got my position eliminated when they decided to just have the dealers take photos on their cell phones. If the company did something illegal, how would you handle it? Someone that was hired at my Mill's current workplace was asked this question. We work hard, and we play hard, or any variation of that. I learned that lesson. To me it meant you're going to work a lot of 60+ HR weeks with no off or comp time. You might be working random nights and or weekends. We might deny a vacation request that you put in nearly 6 months in advance, but once in a while we'll take all of you guys to the Mexican restaurant down the street and pay for lunch. Apostrophe. Illegal questions should always be a red flag. It's amazing how many people don't know what questions in an interview or application are illegal to ask. Not only do these questions hurt their chances of being hired, but they also might point to the employer being unfair/discriminatory. Try to be aware of some tactics employers use before going in for an interview or applying for a job. Edit. Illegal questions. Since this got some attention, I'll share some big questions that are illegal. This pertains to America. Race, religion, gender, marital status, and national origin are all illegal to ask about in America. Sexual orientation is not covered by the Civil Rights Act of 1964. However, some states do protect sexual orientation. Some lesser-known questions an employer might ask would be, when did you graduate high school? Do you plan to have kids? Did you ever go by another name? Do you have any medical conditions? When you see a lot of candidates in the waiting room and/or it's a group interview, in my experience, we are like family. Here is something often said by bosses who must have grown up with shitty families, because they basically mean I'm going to say and do unprofessional shit and get personally upset if you let me down. No thanks. I'd prefer a simple exchange of my time and labor for monetary compensation and benefits without any feelings. My actual parents and I are on great terms. If the interviewer isn't prepared and/or is late 10+ minutes, I've gone to an interview where the two interviewers sat there asking each other, what questions are we asking? What position is this for? Right in front of me. If I spent the last 3 to 5 days preparing for this interview in my spare time, I'm a software dev, so all my interviews are technical, and I like to be over-prepared. Then I expect my interviewer to know what's going on, be prepared and somewhat on time. I didn't take time off work for you to deck me around. Anything that requires you to buy a kit to get started, it's a bunch of bullshit and you need to get up and walk out. You aren't getting in on the ground floor of any hidden gems of opportunity. You're about to fall into a goddamn high-pressured sales funnel. Also, I've learned to be extremely leery of companies that spend a lot of time talking about how much money their industry has made. When you have to pay money to begin because you need a special license product or whatever,